Today on the Yes Show, I am thrilled to welcome a powerhouse in hospitality leadership, Lisa Mendez. As regional director for IHOP, Lisa oversees nearly 50 restaurants across South Florida with the Sunshine Restaurant Partners. She has been with the company for an incredible 26 years, starting as a general manager and working her way up to the top ranks through hard work, heart, and unshakable yes mindset. Beyond her career, Lisa is a proud mom of three and grandma to three, including one little firecracker that keeps her on her toes. I can't wait to meet that one. Lisa's passion for people and her ability to connect, communicate, and serve with heart have been her driving force behind her success. And I can't wait to share more of that with you inside this interview. She is living proof that when you say yes, doors open, lives change, and the Rooty Tooty Fresh and Fruity tastes a whole lot sweeter. Welcome, Lisa. Welcome to the Yes Show. I'm your host, Christine Trippi. Each week, we'll explore the life-changing power of saying yes, along with hotel leadership made easy. Get ready for inspiration, fun, and sweet hospitality. Let's go. Well, Lisa, thanks for being here. I'm going to get right started with that first yes question. You said yes to starting and working with IHOP. Tell us a little bit about that. And I understand you were hesitant with that. So share some of the feelings you were having.
Yeah, for sure. So I was invited to come to entertain coming on board with IHOP. And I just have to say that was 26 years ago. So I might be aging myself, but 26 years ago. And so 26 years ago, I was like thinking, IHOP, I'm not sure. I don't think I want to go to IHOP. And so the gentleman that was recruiting me over said, just come check us out. Just let me show you around. Let me show you a couple stores. And so I trusted him because I knew him from previous employment. So I said, all right, let's do it. And I went to a couple locations and I met tons of different people, cooks, servers, managers, looked at numbers, obviously, and what my role would be. I was coming on board at that time as a general manager.
Okay.
And so I was still kind of like, and by the end of the day, I was blown away by the people. Just each of them said to me, and I would ask, I'm walking around the store, I'm like, how long have you been with IHOP? And it was 20 years, 15 years, 30 years. And I was like, what?
Right. Wow.
I was like, why? I couldn't understand, like, why would you be a cook, server, or whatever for that amount of time? And they all said the same exact thing. I love IHOP. I love this company. I love IHOP. And I tell you, when I tell you that was the hook, that was the hook.
And that's why it's so important to have people come in. We do so many video interviews and, remote type of things or questionnaires and personality surveys. But there's nothing, same thing with dating online. There's nothing like that chemistry that you feel when you meet people in person. And look at 26 years you have been with this company. I just think that's such an amazing story. I can think of so many stories similar. I don't want to put words in your mouth. Your immediate hesitation, why were you hesitant?
Well, because I was thinking that IHOP was kind of diner-ish at that time. And it wasn't what I thought that I wanted to go in the direction that I wanted to go.
Right. As elevated or as prestigious in the industry.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And let me tell you, best kept secret. It was the solely best decision I've ever made was to say yes and come on board with IHOP, because then everything else opened up. Right. I mean, just individual for myself, I grew the skill set, the people that I met, mentorship, opportunity.
I was just going to say the opportunities.
I was a single mom with 3 kids, coming into the restaurant business and, work-life balance and all of that stuff. I mean, I could just go on and on and on, but it just happened. And I came in at the perfect time, working for the perfect company with the perfect leadership, and things just clicked.
I love this. Now, can I ask where you were before IHOP?
Yeah, absolutely. I worked 5 years previously with Boston Market.
Okay.
I was a general manager with them also, and I
Okay.
left their company because they were struggling at that time and they were going bankrupt and things were happening.
Yeah.
And I was a single mom. I was living paycheck to paycheck. So I couldn't just wait to be tapped on the shoulder and say, go find another job. So I
Right.
started looking. And so that's how I came on board with IHOP.
And for so many people out there, my hoteliers that are listening, how many of us thought, oh, well, select service isn't that prestigious, Ritz Carlton or full service, oh, I work at full service and you want that status. But then you say yes to going into select service and the opportunities that are there for you, that
For sure.
promotions come much quicker, your learning is so much grander because you do so much more than just one position in a full service hotel.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
yeah, I love that. And I can recall a time where I was moving from the Marriott, the full service Marriott, to a Residence Inn. That my Marriott was brand new and gorgeous, and my Residence Inn that was courting me was kind of run down, needed a renovation. And I questioned myself. I said, can I be this successful in a property like this?
Sure.
And well, I said yes, and it was one of my favorite decisions that I've ever made.
Isn't
So,
that
yeah,
funny how you
yes,
doubt? We all doubt ourselves when we're going to make a decision. We're like, is this what we want? Is this what it
yes,
is? And sometimes the secret is in that. And you can't even see it until you're
right.
there.
Until you're in it. And that's why, if you think about what if you said yes and then you don't like it, then
That's
you
right.
leave.
That's right. That's right.
So,
Sometimes we don't say yes because of that fear, right?
right, right.
Because we're like,
And
I'm not going to like it. I'm not going to say yes. And you could pass up an opportunity and you don't even know.
right. So give it a chance. Say
That's
yes and give it a chance.
that's right.
Absolutely. I
That's right.
love that's why I felt so connected to your story because I have so many similar stories and I just think that's so cool. Now, you started at IHOP as a general manager. Where were you? Was it Florida?
Yes, I'm in
Okay, so you've
Florida.
always been in
Yeah.
Florida.
I'm in
Okay.
Florida. It was all the way down south in South
Okay.
Florida, like Kendall area, just South Florida. And so in the position as a general manager, I kind of floated. And then I
Okay.
was given a location,
Got
and
it.
then I was there for a little bit. Then I got transferred to another location, and I was doing the general manager position for quite a few years, maybe 5 or 6 years.
Okay.
It's an interesting program in our company. It's
Oh,
called a
tell us about that.
Okay, so it's called a manager operator program. And that program is really offered to our elite general managers. And it's a profit sharing. You don't have to contribute in. And it's a wonderful financial profit sharing that the general manager can make. It's a great bonus structure. And for me,
Yes.
that was life changing financially. That was life changing. My kids then could go to private school. I bought my first brand new vehicle. I was able to purchase my very first home. So all these things start opening up, and then you're so invested in the company and
Right.
well, it
When
does.
when a company can help you live better and to in different in an elevated way, you gain loyalty.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Yes.
And I mean, you're a general manager, right? And you're making 120, 130K. You're a general manager. Like,
Yes.
hello. So for me, that was life changing financially and
Mm.
really spiraled me to think bigger. And
Yes.
what else could I do? What else is out there for me? And let me tell you, this company just really grabbed hold of me, groomed me, pushed me. And that doesn't mean that everything came easy because I got a
No.
lot of no's. I applied for the next position 3 times and I
Mhm.
was told, no, you're not ready. And
Mm.
I thought I was ready, right?
Right.
And so I hung in there and my opportunity came and I got promoted. So I went from one location at that time, and then I was overseeing 18 locations as an area director.
Oh, you started with 18 as area
Right.
director. Okay, nice, nice. When you got those no's, we all have had those and they're hard to take, but sometimes
Very
it's a
hard.
gift because maybe you really weren't. Maybe they knew that you weren't ready yet. Did they do something to help you get ready then?
Probably not something that I could identify at that moment, right?
Okay, I love
Because
this. Yeah.
just what you just said, you always think you're ready or you're shooting for it and you're told no. emotionally, that's an impact. So
Yes.
I can tell you there was one or two times that I was ready to put my keys on the table and walk away and be like, I'm done. I'm
Yes.
done. I felt like I had done everything I could. And thank God that there was someone in this company that talked me off that plank, and told me what a mistake I was making. And that one day I was going to be his boss. And he was right. One day I was his boss.
I love that.
So they mentor you, you get mentored in different ways. And there's so many different people that really contribute, to that the company utilizes, that I currently utilize when I know that I want to work on someone and they're just not ready, or it's not the right opportunity. And then I do other things behind the scenes to kind of keep them engaged or groom them differently, or, it's just, there's so many different ways.
This is a really important message right now for people to hear. We as leaders need to sometimes slow someone down and say, you know what, you're not right, you're not ready at this time. But it's not okay to say you're not ready and then just have them go back to everything they were doing.
I'll figure
We
it
need
out.
we need to go figure it out. We need to give them, what is it I'm not ready for, and how do I develop that, and what challenges can you give me, or what responsibilities can you give me to develop that piece? That's a really great point. And I love that you can look back now on some of this and go, you know what? Yes. And this is why, why I've been successful, because I had to learn this thing first. Or
Right. It totally has helped me grow
mm,
emotionally dealing with conflict and defeat and all of those things that maybe you don't have the insight to see in yourself in that moment. If I could speak to my younger self
yeah.
on my first no that was given to me, I wish I would have had enough insight or courage to ask, why not? Why
Mm,
not me? But I didn't. I was so defeated by the no, and
and almost embarrassed or ashamed, like,
right, and thinking,
right.
yeah, for sure, there's a
Hmm.
whole bunch of shame that goes around it,
Yes.
and thinking that I'm not worthy, or I shouldn't ask for certain things, that I
Right.
never asked that question. And today I preach that, especially to women,
Yes.
especially to women. I preach it. Raise your hand, ask the question, even if it's not the answer you want to hear. Even if you can't see it, ask the question, what can I do better? What am
Hmm.
I doing wrong? What can I do differently? And that way you can continue to grow, and you will expedite that process a little bit faster.
Yes. And that's a great message for everyone out there right now that has applied for something and was told that it's not the right time, or maybe there just simply was too many great candidates and they picked the best one or whatnot. Maybe
Right.
everyone was good, but for some reason this person was a better fit. But at that time, we need to not be afraid, or shut ourselves in pretend shame or imposter syndrome. We need to say, okay, excellent. Thank you for this feedback. What
Yep.
do I need to do?
Yep.
What can you offer me to help me grow in this field?
That's right.
So next time will be a yes.
Well, that
So
takes two things, right? That takes strength,
yes.
emotional strength, to be able to kind of like stuff your feelings a minute and kind of deal with the plan out. And
Mhm.
it takes insight to be able to say, okay, I struck out this time. What can I
Mhm.
do not to do that in the future?
Yes.
That's hard stuff.
And my friends, think about it like yes is the answer. Immediately you hear that rejection and you want to lash out, or you want to shut down. Pause and make friends first. Make friends with the rejection. Say, okay, this is interesting. This is fascinating. Let me ask more why. Let me ask what I need. Let me ask how I gain the experience. Pause, make friends first, and then ask, what can I do?
Yeah.
Fits right in with that yes is the answer.
Yeah, for sure. And maybe that pause doesn't come, Christine, in that very moment, because you're emotionally charged, right? You're
Yes.
hurt, your feelings are hurt, or you're upset or whatever. But at some point, you're going to come down off of that. And then that's when you can go back to that person and say, hey, can I have a
Hmm.
minute of your time? Can you
Yes.
just clarify for me, or tell
Hmm.
me, or provide me feedback, or something
Right.
like
A really great piece of advice is to, instead of ask people for feedback, hey, can you give me some feedback on my presentation or my interview? Often people don't want to be the person that gives you hard feedback, or criticism. But when you say, could you give me some advice? What would you recommend I do? Or what could have been better in my, any advice from you? People like to give you advice. This is what's worked for me in the past, or this is how I've approached something. When you
Yeah,
ask for feedback, you're just like, it was great. It was great. I don't, you
right.
don't want to be that person often.
Sure.
But when you ask somebody for their advice, it hits differently. Okay, before I move into your regional role, I want to ask you as a general manager, I'm asking you to go back a while now, but as a GM, in a new company. What was it that helped you to run a great culture? What do you think you brought uniquely to your one restaurant when you were running one restaurant?
I probably would have to always go back, and it sounds so simplistic. I almost don't want to say it, but it's all about your attitude. I mean,
Yes.
it is all, you could have all the knowledge in the world, all the education, all the schooling, you can know how to do things, count inventory, do numbers, but if you have a stinky attitude, you fail.
Yes. Yes.
I
And
believe I am here solely, not solely, but
yeah.
the majority of the reason why is because of my attitude, because I have
Hmm.
an I can attitude, because I have a positive attitude, because I want to win, all of that. I believe that it's all around your attitude.
Hmm.
And
And this is the greatest message. It's not rocket science. It's
it's
how you show up every day.
That's right. You're absolutely right. You're
Yes.
absolutely right.
There
People
are
can
leadership
actually, of
strategies you do have to learn and you have to be
course,
organized and things like that.
yeah.
But ultimately, the first step is how you show up.
Yeah. And people are more attracted to wanting to help, wanting to mentor, wanting to, help you down the road when you have that kind of an attitude.
Mhm.
And you're more open to learn that way because you don't have that wall up, you know.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I always start there.
Okay. Now, a lot of the listeners and a lot of people that I support, they're general managers and they're wanting that next regional manager where you're supporting multiple properties and whatnot, like you first went in and was it 18?
18 was the first level up.
18 was the first level up. So, one of the big things that we talk about a lot is macro leadership, where, how do you go from running the day to day operations where you're probably poured coffee and you're doing all the things and right there alongside, and then be macro leading 18 properties, 18 restaurants. Well, I'm sure there were stumbling blocks. Can you think of any that, like offhand, a big learning curve for you?
Yeah, I mean, I could go down a laundry list of things, of
Yeah,
mistakes that I made, right?
me
Um,
too. Me too.
not intentionally, but you don't know what you don't know.
Right.
And so I think one of the eye-opening moments I had was leaving a general managers meeting that I was conducting. I was the area director
Okay.
and I was speaking to my 18 general manager leaders.
Got
And
it.
I was probably 7 months in, maybe 8 months into my new role as
Mhm.
an area director. And I remember walking out of that meeting, getting into my car, and just sitting there going, oh my God, I have to change the way I speak to my general managers.
Oh, what was it you realized that
I
you were doing?
I was speaking to them as I would my assistant manager or my lead server or my lead cook. I was speaking to them.
More like what they have to do
Yes, yeah.
instead of
You need
getting
to do
them.
this. You need to go back and do this. You need to do extra, and I wasn't speaking to them as a leader. I wasn't inspiring them. I wasn't teaching them. I wasn't kind of guiding them down that leadership role as what I would want if I were a general manager or when I was a general manager. And I remember walking away just like kind of griping at myself in the car saying, Lisa, you have to change your approach. And when I
I
did,
love this that you remembered it and you called it out.
oh yeah, oh no, for sure. Oh yeah,
Love
yeah.
it.
You can't lie to yourself. Okay. You
Yeah.
just can't. So
But some
that
people
was
are oblivious.
right. Well,
Right.
that's where insight comes in. You got to
Right.
be able to look at yourself and say, what am I doing wrong? And
Right.
so I quickly recognized that was something I needed to change. And nobody told me that, right? That wasn't
Right.
something that wasn't on line 2 of the paragraph of things you have to do. That was something you had to kind of go through and learn on your own. The secondary thing that I had to really tap into was influence, right? So just what you said,
Yes.
when you're a general manager, you could touch and fix everything. The table's dirty, you clean it. The door's not open, you unlock it. Whatever it is, you handle it in the moment. When you are overseeing stores, you don't have that. You
Right.
don't have that power. You can't. So you have to really learn how to influence people, either by a phone call, an email, a text message, whatever it is, your form of
Right.
communication.
And this was my biggest learning curve too, going and supporting over 400 properties across the country, is I was no longer in the manager role where it's, my rules, my way,
Right.
not that
That's
I ever
right.
led like that, quite honestly, but when you're in this property where you're needing to, like you said, influence people, you need to get them to want to do the things that they need to do. You can't just tell them to do them. You
That's
need to
right.
get them to see and understand. And for me, if I were to show up to someone's hotel and tell them how bad things were, or this isn't right, or this doesn't look good,
I'm
and
sorry.
basically tell them that their baby's ugly, I mean, when I was running my hotel, I loved my hotel. And if someone came in and did that to me, I wouldn't listen to them. I
That's
wouldn't
right.
like them. I
That's
wouldn't
right.
want to seek more advice from them, So I always approached it with, how do I help them to see the issues, and like by asking the right questions and then offering support, and not coming in and telling people what to do. So
Yeah. Nobody likes
that's a big one. Yes.
it. Yeah.
And I
Nobody.
love that we both had that similar aha and we came to it ourselves. However, if you're getting people to want to do those things and being inspired by your examples and your advice, then they're really going to take action on it. And that's how you get results. So
Right.
it is a much different learning curve. And I love how that we actually came to it ourselves, and luckily early in our career too, because
Right.
that could really derail you.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, for sure.
Hmm.
Sometimes you see very, very educated, good leaders out there, and they're just kind of stuck. And sometimes it's just something as so tiny as that, but so powerful, right?
Yeah. Yes. Yes. Now, when you learned that, when you walked away from that meeting and you realized you were just telling them what to do, like you were the GM, instead of asking them, getting their buy-in, showing them that they're smart and good at this, what did you do next? How did you channel that?
I don't know. I don't remember
Okay.
exactly step by step
Yeah.
what I did, other than being aware and telling myself you needed to shift. And I remember that I shifted like 100% around how I interacted, how I spoke to my team,
Mm-hmm.
asked more questions of them, getting more feedback from them so they can kind of buy into whatever it was. I told someone just this morning, 26 years ago, I spoke about labor, food, hospitality. 26 years later, I'm talking about labor, food,
Food,
hospitality.
hospitality.
So you never get off that roller coaster.
Mm-hmm.
We're not recreating the wheel, right? So
Right.
it's really all about connecting with people, making sure that we can engage with people, that they buy into you and your vision and what you're saying, um,
Right.
and that they get it, that they feel that connection with you, because that's what's going to get them to the other side of the road.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Truly.
Speaking of hospitality, in a people first industry, what are the key ingredients to creating a culture where team members stay engaged and guests feel the love? What do you do
Girl,
for
that's a
your,
loaded question.
yes, for your properties and your restaurants? How do you stand out above the rest of them out there for hospitality?
I could probably say one of the main veins that run through IHOP is how much our employees and our managers care about everyone, whether it's the community, whether
Mm.
it's the employees themselves, whether we're doing fundraisers, we're working with hospitals, Everything that we do is wrapped around that community, and our customers feel that, hospitality is anything that you can make somebody feel warm and fuzzy and wanted at whatever they're feeling, right? Sometimes we'll have guests or employees that come in that are having a bad day or going through certain circumstances, and maybe they don't want the hi, welcome to IHOP, kind of thing. That's not necessarily hospitality, right? It's really about identifying what that person wants and you delivering it to them in different ways. And there's so many things we do. Recognition for just the little efforts that our team does daily, recognizing our team members. And I could tell you one of the things that I drive in my region in our company is a program that I started a while ago called Meals on Me. I don't know if you've heard about it.
Oh, no.
Okay, so Meals on Me was something that I did when I was a general manager. It didn't have a name. Okay. It was just something that somebody inspired me to pick up someone's check because they were a regular customer. And in some meeting, it was said, oh, that's how you get people to really be engaged. And I just kind of took off with that. And so since I was a general manager, every time I'm in a store, I'll identify a table. And now at my level, I'll walk over to them and I'll identify, hey, by the way, I work with IHOP. How are you? Are you regular customers? And sometimes they're tourists. And I just let them know, you know what? Today your meal's on me. And let me tell you, people just get blown away. I mean, I've had people hug me, kiss me, cry, scream. I mean, just all kinds of reactions that we get. And they're
over pancakes.
Why are you doing this? I'm like, because we're so thankful that you're our customers. Just come back and see us.
Yes.
That's one way that, I kind of inject that into the stores that I go into. And then what happens is, besides the customer, it's like a chain reaction. You get this buzz going in the restaurant, but our employees then see that and they feel good and they feel proud. And then I empower them to do something similar. Give them a cup of coffee, give them a slice of pie, whatever it is. You empower them, and it really is a chain effect that happens.
Yes, it is. And people love to give, and it makes them feel good. And then they go home and they go, oh, guess what I got to do at work today? That's what makes people love their jobs. So that's what I was going to ask you. The follow-up is, do team members and general managers get to do that too? Do you have is it one a day that you do, or how do you do?
There's not, we don't have, a
systematized.
No.
Okay.
We encourage people to do whatever they feel like they want to do. And some people are really good at doing it, and others are very shy. Some people that are in the hospitality industry are shy to walk up and speak to someone and give them something good.
Yes.
So it's not mandated, but it is highly encouraged, especially by me.
I love that. So giving people empowerment to actually resolve problems and to do, we call those sweet surprises.
That's
do a sweet surprise. That's so fun. And now I always love learning about other industry and other companies' culture pieces, if you will. So is there anything with IHOP where, for example, at a few of my hotels, we'd have a little pledge card that every team member would have on their uniform. It's part of their uniform. And there's 10 pledges or something like that. We would say my pleasure instead of you're welcome with Marriott. Is there any IHOP pledges or service structure?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we have something that is our mission statement, which is to be number one in family dining, right? And then we have our breakdown of what our culture is. One of them, our third one down, is respectful interaction, right? Okay. Something so simplistic, but something that we continue to drive and build. Some of the other things is working within our community.
I love how community focused you are.
So all of these things, and then obviously the hospitality piece, right? Developing others and training and coaching and just recognizing positive effort, because that really goes unlooked, unseen sometimes, because typically when people go to restaurants or hotels, something goes wrong, that's it. The whole thing is, right. It was a horrible visit. It was terrible. Everybody
One
was
star.
right, exactly. And so we're always battling against that. And so it's not that maybe the food took a little bit longer or maybe somebody got overlooked or something. Those are pretty common things. It's how do you make up for it and kind of wash that away? And that could just be a smile. It could be a warm cup of coffee. It could be, it just depends on the interaction, but it really is all about the team being engaged with our customers, really being engaged.
Now, if you were going to give our leaders out there one piece of advice on running their property or being a great leader, is there anything that you really think of like this is what being a great leader means to me, or any tips or anything that you learned that you follow?
Probably in every interview I get asked something similar, like what do you look for in a
Yes.
good manager? What's a good manager to you? Or what's a good leader? What are you looking for? And so I always go back to the mainstream, and that is connecting with people. Just connect, inspire, motivate, listen, talk. Everything we do is around people. We happen to sell pancakes, right? We,
Right.
people can get pancakes and eggs anywhere, not as good as ours, but
No.
they can get them anywhere. But ultimately, it's around the people. And so, if I can't teach you to be kind, I can't teach you to be nice and care about others, you have to bring that. And
Right.
so, the better you are at that, the better communicator you are at that, and identifying that, the better you'll be a leader for anyone but for us.
Yes, I couldn't agree with you more because it doesn't matter what you're selling, whether it's rooms or pancakes.
It doesn't.
It's
It
the
really
connections that we make. So tell me this, in our world today of challenging labor markets and people wanting to work remotely and whatnot, how has it been for you for finding labor? And is IHOP doing anything new or innovative to help those schedules or anything like that? Anything new
yeah.
in the industry that you're working on?
Well, I don't know about anything new, Christine, but I could tell you it's certainly top of our voice about labor, right? It is harder and harder and harder with the demands that are out there and the challenges that we face in our industry currently. Some of the things that we have done is really be flexible with schedules, whether it's a split schedule, whether it's a mom only wanting to work weekends, whether it's a mom or a dad that just wants to work a 10 to 2 because they want to take their kids to school and pick them up after.
Mm-hmm.
So we've been really flexible around that. And then implementing that life and work balance, making sure that our employees at every level really understand that they can do both. They can,
Mm.
do the things that they need at home and then also have a good work life also, and being more involved, and our managers being mindful and having a more empathy around the needs of our employees,
Mm-hmm.
because those have changed over the years, and we have lots of people that work 2 and 3 jobs. And
Mm-hmm.
so when they say I only could work Tuesday and Thursday, why discount them? Give them the Tuesday and Thursday. You see
Yes.
what I'm saying? Where maybe years ago we were like, oh no, you got to
We
work
need some
Wednesday through Sunday. You got to
mhm.
work 35
3
hours.
to 11.
Yeah. And so we've been really flexible around that, understanding and being more empathetic around that. And again, I was a single mom, so I know what it takes to juggle a lot of that, especially with our managers, is one of the things that I've been coaching a lot on you could do both. Let's
Mm.
work together, and what are your needs and what are our needs, and really work through that. So we've been really able to master some of that around the labor challenges, doing some of that stuff.
Fantastic. All right, so I've got some fun for you. You ready for a little fun? I've got some
Yeah.
I have trivia. Do you think you're up for it?
Oh, I think that trivia, but let's try it.
Okay. I know. I'm even when I know things, if you ask me the question, I'm like, I don't know. And then you say the answer, I'm like, oh, I know that.
Yeah, yeah, me too. Me
All
too.
right, well, let's try this. IHOP originally opened as what
Oh
name?
God. International House of Pancakes.
Yes, that's an easy one. But you know what? That's an easy one for us old timers. The youngsters might not know it.
The age, the age.
International House of Pancakes. And then in 73 is when they took on IHOP,
Okay.
which is so interesting because it was really like the late 80s, 90s where everyone started to abbreviate with their initials, KFC and
Yeah, yeah.
and things like that. So
Mhm.
IHOP was an innovator when it came to
You
that.
see? You see?
Yeah.
So it's so funny. We did this marketing thing. As a matter of fact, I have it on my wall. And it says I for I. Before iPod, before iPhone, before iPad, there was an IHOP.
IHOP. I love that. That's so cute.
Yeah, I thought it was
Okay.
pretty good.
About how many million pancakes do they serve in a year?
How many?
Million pancakes does IHOP serve in a year?
200?
And everybody out in the audience, take your guess, yell it out. 700 million pancakes in a year, 32 million pounds of bacon, and 214 million eggs.
Okay, wait, where did you get that? You Googled that?
ChatGPT.
You can't believe that.
I don't know. That's what it said. Okay, this is a good one now,
Oh,
especially for
come
my
on, you're killing me.
hoteliers. This is a good one. The iconic blue roof A-frame design was inspired by what?
I don't know.
Howard Johnson's.
Oh, okay. So you know what? Now that you said that, absolutely it was. And I remember before I worked for IHOP, I was confused because I was like, wasn't an IHOP like a Howard Johnson's before?
Oh,
Or something? So it's funny that you say that. Okay.
yes, that's right. I never knew that. I thought that was a cool hotel combo there. All right. And then in the 70s, there was a cartoon character in the commercials for IHOP. Do you know what animal the cartoon character was?
I do.
Do you? I don't
No,
remember that at
no,
all.
wait, yes. There was a talking dog, I think.
This
Uh,
one says it was a kangaroo.
there was a kangaroo. That's right.
Do you remember? I don't remember that at all. I
That's
was like,
way
oh,
before.
that's
That is way before our age, though, just so you know.
yes, yes.
Well, I failed on this test. I don't like this trivia.
No, you did really good. You did really good. I love that. And I love your before the iPhone. That's so great. Okay, now this is my last trivia and it's a doozy. I loved learning this. Okay, in 2015, IHOP changed its logo to include something, and I see it in your background. What did they change about the logo?
Was it the B, the P to the B, or was it this?
Yes, I was saying, I don't know about the B. It was the
Oh, okay. So
smile.
I thought that you were talking about the marketing play that we did where we did this whole marketing thing that we were going to change our name and we were changing the P to the B and then we posed a question to the public, what could the B stand for? And it was really a
Oh,
promotion we did for burgers. And
oh,
so
I
it went
remember
viral.
that.
It went viral. It was like it was a thing. So
Yes,
that's what I first thought you were talking about. So
that's
you're
I
talking
remember.
about the before our name had IHOP, it
Right.
had IHOP, and then somebody said turn that frown upside down, and
Yes.
there was a happy face.
And I never heard that before, and I didn't know the why they changed that logo. And I love that they thought, oh, that looked like a frown. Let's make it a happy face. I
That's
just thought that
right.
was the cutest thing ever. But
Yeah,
I do remember the burger thing, and people were insane about it, just like the Cracker
crazy.
Barrel.
The same thing. Same
Yeah.
thing.
Now, was that a joke or were they really testing it?
No, no, no. It was a market. It was a
It was.
market. We were launching our sirloin burgers at that time.
Oh, yes, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So that
that's so funny. Okay, now a real quick fun thing for you. Give me a this or that. Pancakes or waffles?
pancakes,
Sweet or savory breakfast?
savory.
Savory. Morning person or night owl?
Um, I'm a morning person.
I think I'm more a night owl now.
Oh,
More coffee or more syrup?
Coffee for
Yeah.
sure.
Well, no, actually, I don't like coffee, so I'd say syrup. Leading with rules or leading with relationships?
Relationships.
Yes, I knew that answer. So, Lisa, my friend, a couple of things for our listeners to take action on today. One, if you're mentoring somebody or if you've applied for something and gotten turned down, give your team members the why or how they can improve, or ask for advice rather than feedback on
That's
how
a
you can get to the level to be able to get that new position. So
that
even just looking at your direct circle, how can I do one thing this week to really um, amplify that relationship or connect that relationship even more?
I don't know if there's one thing that I could tell somebody to do this week, but I could tell you the more time you invest in your people, the more successful you will be. Period.
Yes,
I am as
period.
successful as I am because of the people. So the more I invest in them, the more that gives back. And that
Yes.
kind of sounds selfish, maybe, I guess, in some kind of weird way. But unfortunately, I mean, fortunately, we are all around people. Everything is around people. So the more
Mhm.
you invest, the more you will get.
Yes. And one other great takeaway is about influence. Instead of telling people what they need to do or what results we need to get, asking them what are your ideas to get us to our goal? What are your ideas to, you know what? That's great. You're great at this job. Asking people how and what their ideas are rather than telling people. And that's how you really influence people to want to try and want to do it. Yeah,
Yeah.
love that. All
Yeah.
right. So, as you know, I always ask a question of my last guest for my next guest, and I was the last guest. So, I have a question for you. My question for you is, if fear was not an obstacle, what dream would you chase right now?
Yeah, I think just getting to the next level. So the next level for me would be a president, right, of our
Okay.
company. And so for me, it would just be about continuing to grow. And I guess there is a little bit of a fear factor that gets wrapped into that, Christine, or that self-doubt,
The
you know,
imposter syndrome.
absolutely that self-doubt that we kind of whatever we tell ourselves,
Yeah.
and maybe we don't ask the question or we don't, let people know what you want.
Mhm.
That's one of my goals that I have put down this year is I will ask more questions. I will ask for things more often, even if I'm told no, I'm going to ask for it. And so that's a shift that I have made in my own leadership style, and wanting to grow. So,
Love that. That's a good one.
mm.
And everybody out there listening, what's something you have been wanting one day, and what's been holding you back? And then this week, take one step towards it. And it might be just writing down, I will, not I want to, not I need to, I will do XYZ. Or maybe it's updating your resume, or maybe it's uh, calling a travel agent and just getting quotes.
That's right.
What's just one thing, one step closer to getting that, get there. Now, Lisa, what question do you have for our next guest?
Well, so I have like four
Okay.
I wrote down four different questions because I was kind of not sure who your
Okay.
next guest is. So I don't know if it would be crafted. So one of them is what's the one decision that shaped your career today?
Oh, I love that.
Right. Another one was uh, who are you mentoring or helping to get them to their next level,
I
whatever
love
that
that.
is. Right. I think that we all have to do that.
Hmm.
Um, what's the most important quality of a leader? You asked me that. And then the last one was, what are you really passionate about and why?
Okay. I love all the questions. All right. I'll keep a few of those in my pocket.
There you go, just in case you need some.
Yes. And there's one more thing I wanted to talk about that is a real great lesson or inspiration for everyone out there. Lisa here is such an amazing leader. The reason we met is because she was looking for somebody for her women's event. And here's the thing. IHOP didn't necessarily have a women's group in the company. And Lisa saw this as, especially as a woman growing up in leadership, as a need. And she didn't wait around for someone to put it together. She said, I'll do it. She raised her hand, and she's putting together the first ever women's event for IHOP women leaders.
That's
Isn't
right.
that awesome? Yay!
I'm so excited about that. I'm so glad you brought that up.
Yes, I'm so excited that you are doing this for them, because we all know that this is something needed and welcome, and to help build confidence of all of our women leaders in our company and give them the outlet and things like that. So I
That's right.
love that you didn't say wait around for somebody else to say we should develop the la la la. You said,
Yeah.
hey, we need this, and I'll do it.
Yeah, no, for sure, for sure. So we've named it Elevating Women in
Okay,
Leadership.
love
It's a
it.
name, Elevating Women. And basically, it's just going to be a forum where women can go and get information, get inspired, talk about different topics, have designated mentorship, depending on what each person needs, because not everybody needs or wants the same things. And really talk about the things that nobody spoke to me about when I was growing up in this industry. Nobody spoke to me about confidence, about influence. Yes, absolutely. About the power that you have as a leader and how to use that to your benefit and for others. Having a voice, speaking up, something as simple as just raising your hand and asking a question or saying,
Yes.
I don't know, can you help me? Like all these things, and there's a laundry list of things. There's just a laundry list of stuff that I want to attack, and I really have to pace myself.
I know. That's my problem.
I have so
many ideas. I want to do it all tomorrow.
I know it's crazy. I have like ADHD around this program right now. Even attire, right? Something simple as attire, hair. What do you dress? How do you dress? So many things. So my thought process is first off, we have 117 female leaders in our company.
Love that.
At every range, all the way down from a shift leader, just touching their toes into management, all the way up to the regional director, which, by the way, I am the first female regional director in our company ever. And I didn't even know that. Hello?
That's amazing.
I've been in this position more than 10 years, and I didn't even know that until I start digging and asking questions. And I go, wow, that's pretty impactful. So, there was no training. There's no, so I just would love to open that road up. And there will be another person in my chair. There will be all these people coming behind me. And how can I help?
Because you'll be the president.
I will be the president.
You will be.
How can I help them? I love you. How can I help them, get there faster, easier, have more self-awareness? I wish I had the self-awareness that I have today. I wish I had that 25 years ago. The confidence that I have today, I wish I had that 25 years ago, and so on and so on and so on. So my goal is to inspire, motivate, hold someone's hand, and in that they're going to motivate me.
100. Yes. It's a win-win.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
I love it. I love you.
Yeah,
Lisa, I can't thank you enough for taking time out of your day. One last thing, if we have somebody out there that's like, wow, that sounds really interesting, and wow, I'd love to run an IHOP store. Is there any one place they should go look for great career opportunities in IHOP?
Yeah, absolutely. IHOP.com. IHOP.com. It's state of Florida. Our company is called Sunshine Restaurant Partners.
Okay.
I mean, they can reach out to me directly. I will connect them to the right person.
And I'll put your LinkedIn on the show notes too, if anybody wants to connect with you, because you are an amazing leader to be connected with.
You're so sweet.
Yes,
Thank you.
I mean that.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's a wrap for today's show. Say yes to taking action and changing the world one yes at a time. And oh, my friend, will you say yes to review, like, and subscribe? The more yeses you give, the more juicy goodness I can bring to all of you wise pineapples. Cool or cool?